I'm Bob O'Brien.
And I'm Pam O'Brien.
We lived in Pennsylvania, and for no apparent reason, one day I decided to take some time off and come down here to look around because we always thought we would move to the South to retire, and we had a few years to plan it out, and a few years turned into a few months. We ended up buying a house here and moving here within, I think, 7 months. And then we started the process of looking for a church. We went to several churches here and finally ended up at Cane Bay and saying, well, this might be the place. And then I met Joe and said, well, we might be going to his church. And then I met Daniel. And I said, we're definitely going to that church.
When you move down to a new area, you don't have family, and you're just kind of floating around. What am I doing here? What is my purpose in life? I kind of look at my stage of life as the same as graduating high school. What am I going to do with my life? God planted that in my heart that you're going to start a church. And he is taking me very far out of my comfort zone to do this. To have a church in Nexton means a lot to me because I know we travel great distances to get to different churches. Because there's not one, I never thought to hey, let's start one. But now that that concept has come about and it's actually coming to life, it's very much needed.
I guess over the years I've kind of learned, growing up Catholic, it was more a matter of this is the church you go to. You have to go there every Sunday morning, these rules and regulations and everything. And over the years, I've kind of learned that we have an outward responsibility, and I can't have my outward responsibility to my community if I'm going to a church that's 40 miles away, 30 miles away. If we're going to be part of a community, and we have to be in the community, and that's part of the fellowship of man too, is that if I only see the fellow parishioners on Sunday, how much fellowship is going on? But if I see them every day on the street, if I run into them in the grocery store or whatever, that's more important. So I think having a church in the community is very important just for the people of like mind and believers to be able to know each other's there.
We knew no one when we moved down here but the real estate agent and the saleswoman. We knew no one. Kingdom Church has given me the people to know that I know I can love and trust and become my family. I think maybe it was the first sermon that you were giving, and you said, I had no idea who was going to be in this room with me 3 years ago when I was praying about this church and look at the room full of people. And Bob and I looked at each other because here we were in this little room filled with godly people that 3 years ago sitting in our kitchen in Pennsylvania without a thought of moving. We had no idea. We thought we still had another 5 years ahead of us up there. So to find us in that same room and hearing you say that was like, you know what? I can't tell you how I got here because I made no conscious decisions about it. It was like God just pointed me in the direction of being there because that's where he wanted me.
I was baptized when I was probably 2 months old. That was the Catholic tradition, and my sister-in-law used to always tell me that you weren't baptized, you were christened. And I never understood the difference, and as I went on in life, as I fell away from God, as I came back to God, and we'd been through a number of different churches and a number of different opportunities to be baptized again, and just never did it. And I did this year. And, if not for Kingdom Church, if not for you, if not for Daniel, I wouldn't have done it. And I did. I think back when we both were elders in the Methodist church we belonged to. I was the vice chairman of the council which is the ruling body of the church. And it occurred to me years later that I got too involved in the business of church instead of the godly part of it. And what I'm really excited about is how God is going to use me, whether it's emptying the trash can or parking cars, rather than deciding who's going to be the associate pastor and whether we're going to fix the roof. I'm getting the opportunity to do it right this time.